Second round jinx is alive and well in Allen Park. We're back from the bye week. It's time for a Monday edition of Locked On Lions.
You are Locked On Lions, your daily Detroit Lions podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, everybody? Matt Dery with you. It is a Monday edition of Locked On Lions right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day indeed, on a Monday, November 17th, I should say October 17th, into Tuesday, October 18th. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day here on Locked On Lions, where you can find us on Twitter at Dery Speaks, Dery Speaks, at Locked On Lions on Twitter, the Matt Dery Facebook fan page, and welcome those of you watching on YouTube, the Locked On Lions YouTube channel. Thanks for subscribing, watching every day, commenting as well. Today's episode of Locked On Lions presented by PrizePicks. PrizePicks, daily fantasy made easy. Pick 2 to 5 players. If they score more or less than their PrizePicks picks projection, you can win up to 10 times your money on your entry. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code LOCKEDON. That's prizepicks.com, promo code LOCKEDON. A lot to discuss today on the program. We got to get into it first and foremost. Some observations that I made from the bye week and from yesterday's slate of games where, quite honestly, there's pressure on Dan Campbell and the Lions now. There's more pressure on them to win now than there's been in a while, and I'll explain why after watching the games and some of these other teams play yesterday. We'll get into that coming up momentarily. Some news on Levi Onwuzurike. Oh, it's like drinking out of that old bit cider jug when discussing Onwuzurike. He's done for the year. We'll get into that coming up momentarily. Next Lions opponent is Dallas. We got to talk about the Cowboys a little bit and some other injury news as well down at 222 Rodwood Drive. Again, thanks for making us your first listen. All right, some observations from the games yesterday. First and foremost, number one, the NFC North stinks. All right. We watched Thursday night the Bears and overrated, overhyped Justin Fields try and play quarterback against a banged up Commanders team. That didn't prove to work out very well as Washington won the football game. The Bears are bad. All right. And we knew they'd be bad. I didn't think Justin Fields would be this bad. Now, the Fields defenders in Chicago and some Buckeye slappies will say, oh, he has no time to throw. He's getting killed back there. Yeah, the O-line's bad. The O-line's no good. But Justin Fields is not ready for this. He's not. Holds the ball way too long. He looks at one guy and throws it to him. Doesn't go through his progressions. He doesn't look like an NFL quarterback to me. Green Bay Packers. Wow, back-to-back weeks they lost to the New York teams who were supposedly young and up and coming and rebuilding a bit. Now, I'm going to get to the Giants and Jets in a second because there's some connectivity with the Lions situation. But the Packers losing in London, up 14 points on the Giants. And then yesterday, getting curb stomped by the Jets. Robert Saleh, the Jets special teams, just dropping a big giant elbow on Matt LaFleur, Aaron Rodgers, and the rest of that Green Bay crew. How about that yesterday? The division's going to be going through Minnesota, it appears. And yes, the Vikings yesterday got a chance to play against the Dolphins, who didn't have Tua, didn't have their backup quarterback, and had to go to the third stringer in Skylar Thompson. The backup is a Teddy Jam for me, Bridgewater. So you knew the Vikings were going to get the win. They weren't that impressive per se, but they pulled away at the end. And Minnesota's off to a nice start at 5-1, which is a surprise. Lions should have beaten the Vikings a few weeks ago. But the division's weak, and it's vintage Lions, isn't it? That right now the division's down. They have a chance to make a little bit of a move up here, and yet they sit at 1-4. Be that as it may, now is going to be a big stretch of 3 games here. Dallas, Miami, Green Bay. They've got to show us something. I'm not saying the Lions are winning the division. I'm not calling them a playoff team. But how about seeing some progress? All right. Green Bay all of a sudden looks very beatable, whether you're going to Lambeau or they're coming to you. The Packers are a mess, and their defense, boy, reverse to Braxton Berrios with ease, waltzes into the end zone. Breece Hall, a little misdirection with ease, 60 yards down the field. That Packer defense does not look like the defense we saw last year from Green Bay, and it's you could score on them. And their receiving core without Devontae Adams is light, very light. Don't tell me about Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson just yet. And Alan Lazard as a number one receiver is comical. So the Lions need to show us something. And the biggest reason the Lions have got to show us something is what is taking place with these first and second year coaches around the league. Dan Campbell took over a disaster. He inherited a mess. We get it. It's not been good for Motor City Dan or MCDC or the Danimal or whatever you want to call him. His record is what it is. He's 4-17-1. That's his record. That's his tape, as Rod Marinelli says. Check the tape. Look at the tape. You are what your tape says you are. Remember Marinelli used to say that? But now you look around the league, folks. Right? Brian Daboll has taken over the Giants. They're 5-1. They don't have any talent. They've got some talent, but not a lot of talent. They're still trotting out Daniel Jones. They don't have any receivers. Tony's a bust. Galladay's a bust. Doesn't matter. They got Saquon. They're doing okay. It's because Daboll's coaching them up. They just beat the Ravens yesterday. Impressive. Kevin O'Connell with the Vikings. I know he inherited a better roster than Campbell did. They're 5-1. Robert Saleh. Did you guys know Robert Saleh's from Detroit? Lions never talked to him. Dearborn's own Robert Saleh has the New York Jets at 4-2. Really? The Jets have won a couple in a row. They look good. Zach Wilson spreading it around. Quinnen Williams, their D tackle. Lions could use him. He's as good a defensive player as there is in the game right now. They're well coached. Blocked a punt yesterday for a touchdown. Went into Lambeau and terminated the Packers. Almost the Patriots. And Arthur Smith in Atlanta. Falcons keep winning. How? They were predicted to be worse than the Lions were. He's got Marcus Mariota balling. Took care of the Niners yesterday. Falcons went into Seattle and won. That's a respectable 3-3 Falcon team that is selling off parts, and they're still winning games. Daboll, O'Connell, and Saleh, all three have more wins in their first 6 games this year than Dan Campbell has in 22 games, going back to last year. Wow. How about that? Pressure's on, man. I'm not telling you this team is going to the postseason, but I need to see some wins. This notion that, well, the Lions are rebuilding, it's taking time. Bradley and Dan, they inherited a mess. Yes, they did. And there's injuries all across the league. There's injuries with the Lions. We're going to talk about those in a second. But can we please get some wins? The Giants are winning. They were supposed to be horrible. The Jets are winning. The Jets have been a laughingstock for years. They're like New York's JV team. Yet in back-to-back weeks, the Jets they're posting up. The Vikings, always gag. Nope. Kevin O'Connell looks like he's 12 years old on that sideline. He's 5-1. And again, Arthur Smith with the Falcons. Don't think he did a good job last year. Don't really like that roster a lot. Ridley's gone. Patterson's out. Yeah, but the Swift and St. Brown, yeah. Falcons don't have Patterson. Ridley's gone. They're winning. It's a lot of 3-3 teams. There's a lot of mediocre football being played. And you got coaches like Daboll, O'Connell, Saleh, and Smith. They have their teams competitive. And right now, the Lions are not. That's why there's some pressure on Dan Campbell. Go into Dallas and win this week. Why not? Oh, but Dallas is so good. I watched them last night. Yeah, they're good. They are a good team. Are the Dallas Cowboys some unbeatable force? No. Go down there and win this week. Prove us wrong. You had 2 weeks to prepare. You're getting guys back. Healthy bodies. Let's go. Let's see something here. I'll tell you about a body that is not healthy. We're going to do that coming up next. First, though, let's talk about Nugenix. Personal experience. I'm trying to get rid of this dad bod. All right. Feeling a little less than my old self. You don't have time maybe to work out, but you wanted the energy and body you once had. That's why you need to discover Nugenix, and you'll feel revived. Working out like you used to and feeling good, getting in shape. All right. Want more energy to counter the negative physical effects of aging? Nugenix Total T, testosterone booster with testofen, will help you turn back the clock, re-energize your workouts, get you better results at the gym, and help you look and feel like the man you really want to be. All right. Nugenix Total T contains man-boosting key ingredients like testofen. It's been validated in 5 clinical studies shown to boost free testosterone levels in men. Total T is the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC, and they can help re-energize your life. That's what you want. Now, you can get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T when you text NFL to 231-231. Text now and get a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, their most powerful fat incinerator ever, with key ingredients to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Just text NFL to 231-231. NFL, text it to 231-231. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at nugenix.com/terms. And hey, I got to tell you about our friends at AG1. My wife loves taking this stuff and drinking this stuff every single day. She started taking AG1 because she didn't have a lot of time to, get stuff, protein shakes and all this stuff ready. And she wanted a supplement that tasted good, wanted to see what the hype was about when they sent it to us. And now she's been on it for months and she absolutely loves it. She feels super healthy. What is this stuff? It's simple. It's one delicious scoop of AG1. Put it in some water. You're absorbing 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, aging, all of those things. All right. She personally consumes it because she likes the taste of it and she can stay healthy. It's lifestyle friendly too. So if you're paleo, keto, vegan diet, it's perfect. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no any of that stuff. It is fantastic. Athletic Greens has over 7,000 5-star reviews. It's simple. Reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. Just 1 scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs of AG1 with your first purchase. All you got to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NFL Network. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/NFL Network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right, back on Locked On Lions. Hope everybody's doing well. I had a good weekend this weekend. I attended the Indiana-Maryland football game on Saturday afternoon. This Tagovailoa, Tua's little brother, if he somehow is healthy, I know he hurt his knee Saturday, I draft that kid in the middle rounds. He's going to be an NFL quarterback. He makes some plays. I know we saw him play Michigan earlier this year. I like him. That's neither here nor there. All right, news from Allen Park today. Dan Campbell had his Monday press conference. Not a surprise. He announces that Levi Onwuzurike, part of the traditional second-round Lions draft pick jinx, is out for the year. Levi, the D tackle out of Washington, out for the year. He underwent back surgery last week. What's interesting about what Campbell had to say, he said about Onwuzurike that it was a last resort. Remember, Onwuzurike hurt his back in college. Brad Holmes still drafted him in the second round. Then he was hurt all of last year, as Todd Wash, the D-line coach, said this during the offseason, how he was battling through it. Didn't perform well. Then Campbell said today, quote, on the back surgery, it's a last resort. We felt where we Saw a number of doctors, so we'll see where it goes. This from prideofdetroit.com. When asked if this surgery should fix the issue so that it's not lingering long term, Campbell said, quote, "Yeah, hopefully this helps." End quote. This kid may never play again. Hopefully this certainly helps. Jeez. That doesn't sound great. And again, I'm not even mad at Levi Onwuzurike. I just think Brad Holmes, for some odd reason, when it comes to defensive players, has drafted nothing but injured guys. Now, Jamison Williams doesn't count. They knew when they drafted him that he was likely not going to play much this year. But if you go out and get Ifeatu Melifonwu, who always seems to be hurt, you draft Levi Onwuzurike, who has been hurt for 2 years. Those are second and third round picks that you need. This defense is dead last in the league. If he doesn't see the field, and Onwuzurike has not played. And when he played last year, he was ineffective. It's disappointing. And again, it goes to this second round jinx that this organization has had. Whether it's bad players like Teez Tabor, Jelani Tavai, and others, or injured players, DeAndre Swift, who never seems to be healthy, great talent, Onwuzurike. Second round picks have just, Josh Paschal, same thing, forgot him. Josh Paschal isn't healthy. Today, Dan Campbell, I'm going to get to this in a second, talked about players coming back. Paschal didn't even come up. Frustrating. This team's defensive line, especially on the interior, needs beef, needs help, and they can't go out, as Brad Spielberger pointed out at PFF last week on this program, they can't go out and get guys. They only have $2 to $3 million in cap space. So this notion that they can trade for somebody or sign Sue or something like that is not happening. That's why you've got to hit Quinnen Williams for the Jets. He's a monster. Aaron Donald, monster. Oh, by the way, anybody see what Kayvon Thibodeau did yesterday? 4 pressures, strip sack to win the game. First sack of the year. I'm not telling you he's better than Aiden Hutchinson, but he made a play yesterday in winning time that was huge for the Giants. It's like the bye week was like a Lions nightmare, reel. Seriously. Saleh winning, Dable winning, Kayvon doing well. Vikings keep winning. Ay. All right, injury update and a little preview for Sunday. We're, of course, going to talk to Marcus and the folks at Locked On Cowboys on Thursday on the crossover. But I do want to give you an injury update on some of the other guys coming up next. PrizePicks, daily fantasy, making entries, picking players. It is so much fun at PrizePicks.com. You got Monday Night Football tonight. Pick some players, man. Have some fun. Look at the projections. See what's out there and how it goes. PrizePicks yesterday, if you picked Patrick Mahomes to throw for less than 320 passing yards, you won some money. If you picked Breece Hall to go for less than like 80 yards, whatever he was projected against the Packers, you lost money because he blew up. It's fun. It's a fun format, and you're not going up against other people. You're going up against the projections. They're right there for you. Pick 2 to 5 players. If they score more or less than their PrizePicks projection, you can win up to 10 times your money on any entry. No competing against other people. It's you against the projections, and they have other sports tonight. ALDS Game 5. Here we go. My Guardians against the Yankees. You want to project Aaron Judge over a home run and a half or a half a home run? How many innings for Aaron Savali or Jamison Taillon? You could do it at prizepicks.com. Just download the app or go to prizepicks.com. Sign up and play daily fantasy sports. It's a lot of fun. You can make these entries in 60 seconds or less. It's easy. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code LOCKEDON. If you deposit $100, PrizePicks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, PrizePicks will give you $50. Don't forget to enter promo code LOCKEDON at sign-up for an instant deposit match up to $100. Monday edition of Locked on Lions, everybody. Injury news today. Dan Campbell said John Kaminsky, the defensive tackle, defensive end, likely going to be back this week as he's missed the last couple of weeks with a broken wrist. No plans yet on bringing back Romeo Okwara, Jamison Williams, or Jason Kabinda. But it does sound like Jerry Jacobs could be activated soon, which is nice. Kabinda is the closest of the three when we're talking about Romeo, Jamo, and Kabinda. Josh Paschal, still a ways to go. But that's the issue for this week, coming back from the bye. Now, the Lions are going to be playing the Cowboys. Dak Prescott is coming back. He said it last night after the game, and it appears he will start Sunday when the Lions face the Cowboys. By the way, CBS's top crew is doing this game. The game's on CBS, number one. And number two, Jim Nantz and Tony Romo will be there. How about that? So the top CBS crew, we're getting Jim Nantz for Cowboys and Lions. Okay? So for Sunday. But Dak Prescott coming back. I watched the Cowboys last night, and they just run so much misdirection play action, and that's exactly what Seattle did, and that's exactly what New England did against the Lions. That fake handoff, where am I? If I've got the ball here, fake handoff, this fake to the left, swing back right, dump it to the tight end. Cooper Rush was doing that last night, all night long. Hitting his tight ends, Peyton Hendershot, the pride of Indiana, and others. The Lions have got to make some adjustments defensively against that play, because Dallas is going to want to run the football. The Lions are preparing for Zeke and for Pollard, and they got to be ready for Dak on the misdirection. Bootlegs, rollouts, finding guys across the middle, finding the tight end. Geno Smith did it all day against the Lions a couple of weeks ago. And that's going to be something the Lions are going to have to get ready for down in Dallas. Again, I watched the Cowboys last night. They're physical. Lawrence and Parsons coming off the edge are just beasts. And that defense is good. Philly, of course, scored on them because Philly scores on everybody. But this is not a world-beating Dallas team. It's a good Dallas team. But I want to see something. I want to see the Lions get a road win. Only team in the last 2 years, 2022 and 2021, without a road win. Your Detroit Lions. We'll dive into more of it during this week, but shock us. Go down there and win. Should have won in the playoffs years ago, 2014. We'll have to revisit that. All right, it's a Monday edition of Locked on Lions. Thanks for making us your first listen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.